What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Dougie Be Fishing. I am Captain Doug. I am out here today with my friends Julie and Brent from Real Coastal. I will put a link to their YouTube channel down in the description like I always do. Hopefully today we're out here in this river system and there's still snow on the banks. As y'all can tell, it just snowed a few days ago. It's been all over the news. We had 8 inches of snow here, pretty unheard of in 135 years. So I just caught a redfish, didn't have the camera on. These fish are being very finicky today. It's probably because the water temp is 46 degrees. So I have a straight tail on. I was throwing a paddle tail earlier. Nothing really happened on the paddle tail. I went to the straight tail, a little bit smaller profile. I added some scent and I just got another bite. So I stuck on the camera. So now let's quit talking and let's get to fishing and see if we can actually catch some fish today. It's that point that's coming off of there. Let's see. Yeah, I threw it out there and it went doink, and I was like, all right, let me turn the damn camera on. It's just gonna be a slow and steady type day that's holding it back. Alrighty, y'all. This feels like a good one. I don't know if he's a red or a trout. Oh yeah, baby. Nice one. Look at this beauty, y'all. in the freezing cold. You know what? Let's get him in the dang kayak. Don't play around. That's actually a really nice one. Look at that, y'all. He's probably about 16 inches or so. Nice fat one. Are y'all keeping any fish? No. All right. Yeah, nice one. There's a few down there. Ah, that water's cold. Yeah, they're being so like not aggressive. Like I felt that little thump on there, but it's like they're eating it and they're just sitting there. So all I'm doing is just kind of dragging it. Like I'm literally doing this. And then every once in a while I'll give it that little, almost like you're worm fishing. It's just when they get like this, it's just awful. The other thing is too, is like when they get like this, they don't want something that's like big and swinging and moving all over. They want something kind of stiff, like a do-nothing bait. Like this time of year in Louisiana, we would use sparkle beetles. Yeah, it's like a split tail. It's like an old school, like H&H makes them. In this, I went to the split tail. I wanted something a little smaller, less action. It's so cold. These fish ain't gonna be going like this right now. They're gonna be like real tight together. So like, if I was throwing a crankbait, for instance, in here, I probably should be throwing a flat-sided crankbait because it has a tighter wobble opposed to like a square bill or something like that. And I just want something that's real subtle. And if we can find them stacked up and get a few of them eaten, it's probably gonna be a pretty good day. We just gotta find them stacked up. Right now, we just found like a little pod, and that's how it's been this year. Last year, they were set up in one particular spot. This year, it's been a pod here, pod there, pod here, pod there. So, you know, having good electronics, you know, knowing how to read them, and then just kind of knowing the biology of the fish, of where they want to be at in particular times of the year. But that was a nice trout, but they just want to kind of be a little funky today. So, let's see if we can get a few. Alrighty. They're all nice fish. All I see is a head shaking. Pretty one. Another pretty. Give both of y'all one of these baits. Oh, look at that. He tried to jump back in a kayak. He wanted to be friends forever.
Not a whole lot we can do when it's 5 degrees outside.
Right. Get out there and work, boy. All right, y'all. Got another one. He's pulling kind of hard, too. Another nice one. Another pretty trout. That's a keeper right there. Nice.
Catching all the fish.
I told you I'll give you a bait. It's right here. Come get it. I'm using this. We'll let him go before I end up killing him. I'm using these Gussie's Glimmer scented jerk shads, the 3.5 size. So that's what I'm using, y'all. Like I said, I just wanted to switch up to something. You know, I think a lot of people probably came in here, and I actually made a video in here not too long ago where I was catching speckled trout on a slam shady in here. And this is kind of like my backup bait. Whenever stuff gets tough, I'll use this, or they get highly pressured, I'll switch to this opposed to a paddle tail. It's got this small profile and that little tail that'll kind of sit on the ground, and what I'm doing is throwing it out there and just kind of shaking it a little bit. Shaking it and then killing it, just letting it sit like I'm worm fishing. And like I said, you know, when it gets this cold like this, you gotta slow down for the most part. You know, there's a certain part where you're like 55, 65 degrees, you don't have to slow down. You can really just hammer down on it. But I mean, when they're buried in the mud on the bottom, because I can see them, but yeah, you just slow down, and it's just that little slow pull like that, and I'm kind of almost shaking the line, and what that's doing is making that tail do this. So maybe that's why they're doing it. And I'm not moving the bait that far, and if I do hop it, I'm not hopping it high. I'm just a little thump. I'm keeping it real tight to the bottom. And it's all about where they kind of want to be, because it seems like they're kind of like straight this way. Off, there's a ledge that just barely slopes out from 15 to 19 feet, and they're on that little cluster. He was the only one that probably wanted to keep her, is the redfish. As soon as I finished hopping it. See, that's how they kind of biting today, though. It's just that they're just tapping at it. It's not very... Didn't get a good hook in that one. He's smaller. Alrighty.
You got one, Julie's on. I got one. Look at that.
Oh, that's a nice one. That's nice. We all hooked up at the same time. Put them into a feeding frenzy. Don't lay off of them either.
I stayed with the paddle tail, but I went down to a 3-inch.
Yeah.
I didn't have a straight tail. Thought I did.
Oh my God. If I ripped the damn rod out of my hand. It's like straight underneath me.
Blind squirrels, baby. Blind squirrels.
Oh my God. Come on. I mean, y'all seen that. He hit me like 2 or 3 times, and I had to just sit there and just shake it for him to eat it. Just had to shake it. Another good solid one. Alrighty, y'all. Another solid one. Back up. I could feel fish around the bait. Felt like I hit a tail or something. That's a little, this is not the size we want, y'all. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this feller, little baby. He don't get a good release because he's small. I find that I have a little bit more success kind of doing what Brent does. So I'm about to scoot up over there by Brent and kind of throw across the canal, because that slope cuts down this way and it's just more natural. I'm gonna take this little scent, put it all over here, give him another reason to want to eat it. I find in this river, in this dirty water, that scent really just makes a difference. Helps them just find it a little bit better, especially because I'm not relying on really much of sight or vibration. I get a little bit of vibration from the bait hitting the ground and that little tail kind of moving around. But alrighty, y'all. I mean, it's like when you get that one little spot. Look at that, another. I don't know if this one will be a keeper. It's a little smaller. It's like they're getting smaller. But I think he's probably a little short. I mean, he thumped it like he ain't never seen one of these before. They wanted to come up this way. I seen them look and I was like, don't. Please don't. What the hell? Okay, I was wondering why he was fighting a little different. Little baby red. I was like, man, he ain't fighting like no trout. All right, y'all. Well, we're nearing the end of the day. We caught fish in that first spot. It was during a little minor feeding period. After that, man, we found fish. We just couldn't get them to eat. Day ain't over yet. I'm about to shoot back up here and meet Julie and them. But if we don't catch anything for the rest of the day, thank y'all for watching. Make sure y'all check out Real Coastal. You know, that'll all be down the bottom. If y'all want to book a charter with me, I do have a boat, but I do fish out the kayak quite often. So I will leave everything to contact me down below, and I'll check y'all on the next one. Later.